It's not my doctrine, but his who sent me. I'm just a delivery man for the 40 parables, Rick Schmidt, and have licensed this name, Worldwide Publishers, to go to all nations within the acceptable year of the Lord, as a thief in the night, as a flood, and gather the lost sheep, those that can hear his voice and follow, those disciples that witness to others by not preaching, but putting Jesus on the candlestand and watching him online or on TV, on radio, on CD, on DVD, in a book, and hear Jesus teach his own gospel for once. When's the last time you heard Jesus teach his gospel of the kingdom of heaven? Why is there 199 different Christian denominations or more that all have a twisted gospel? None of them let Jesus do the talking. Well, now he is. Now he's back teaching his parables in the King James Version. Don't forget, there are a few words. It's human-made, King James Version. But the principle of the parables, that's why Christ used parable stories and principles. They all remain the same 2,000 years later, right on. So I better shut up now and decrease so he can increase. I just wanted to make my introduction. Thank you, sir. Now.
Representation information. 1-800-480-3171.
Okay, that was the trailer. We probably should play a 5-minute trailer for the 1-hour show for the new viewers.
And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, for him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Matthew 13:10-12. All these things he spake unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world.
3:20.
Matthew 13:34-35. And he said unto them, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. And he said unto them, Unto you is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables, that seeing that they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted, and their sins should be forgiven them. And he said unto them, Know ye not this parable? And how will ye know all parables? Mark 4:9-13.
All right, the show goes on now to actually narrate word by word out of the King James Version all 40 parables of Christ. The only full hour online in the world where you can hear Christ for a full hour of all Christ. So I think you should do a little seeking if you're going to find it, because few there are that find it, Jesus said. He also said, many are called, few are chosen. In fact, he never once used the word grace. Get a red letter concordance. Never once. The cheaper the heaven insurance, the riskier it is. Only Jesus knows what heaven means. In fact, you notice in the parables, they start out, many saying, the kingdom of heaven is like, the kingdom of heaven is like. He taught the Sermon on the Mount to disciples. That was the only time he taught a crowd that wasn't parables. You just heard it. He quoted parable stories, principles. The religious leaders and the politicians of the times couldn't do anything with these stories because first they couldn't understand him. Very few could understand him. And second of all, he wasn't referring to any person. Whatever got him in trouble was claiming he was God. Blasphemy in those days. I'm not God, but I know Jesus is 100%. Not 90% like most people think. 100%. Yes, you take him literally. I remember my first day in Jerusalem. I had to borrow bus fare because I obeyed him. I went with no money to seek where he rose again and where just Jerusalem with no money. I had to borrow bus fare to get to downtown. I stayed there for 300 days, 300 nights. He provided for me, no job, no business. Friends would send me money overseas, knowing that I was actually in Jerusalem for a year, almost 300 days. But I learned a lot from that. I learned from the generations of people that lived there for generation after generation, confirming he taught in parables only. So you found it. Now you can hear it, but do you do it? That's the first parable. One thing to hear it, another thing to hear it and do it. So I've got to get out of here. I got to decrease so he can increase. I just want to make sure you understand that these 40 parables are the way Christ taught his original gospel. That's that one pearl of great price.